Championship 2016 in Berlin. Okay, we're here with all 4 hosts, so this is not a player interview, as you can tell. We're doing something new. We're going to talk about our little background, so you know who's actually moderating the stream. My name, of course, is Oliver Gurman, and here we got...
Matthew Bell, good to see you guys again.
I'm Robert Hooley.
I'm Luke Withington.
Right. So, guys, a couple of people have been asking me every time I'm doing the Twitch moderation, how did you get into the game? What's your background, and why do you moderate the stream? Can you guys give us a little bit of a glimpse how you got into the game?
Back in 2002, I bought the Forbidden Memories PlayStation 1 game. Got the promos. My father then turned around and said, I kind of like enjoy doing this. He was also called Rob Hooley. You may remember him. He used to be heavily involved in organised
He's still
play.
alive. Just to
He is
verify.
still alive.
Yeah.
He is still alive. This isn't an epitaph. This is he's still okay.
It's just a walk down memory lane.
And then found my locals, which was in Mansfield. Ended up being one of the largest locals in the country at 270 players a week. This is back in the heyday of chaos format. I'm not saying it's a heyday because it was very hard to play in. And then from there, kind of just got into kind of doing voluntary work for all of the kind of consumer events, and now I actually run all those consumer events and organise play for the UK, Ireland, Nordics, and Baltics.
It's crazy when you think about it, how long it's been like with you in your life.
Yeah.
And I think that's true for all of us.
Yeah.
Matt, what about you?
For me, I started, I think I was about 14. I know it was a long time ago. I do. So I went into the city centre and I actually found in a Forbidden Planet they had the Japanese boosters. And I remember the very first pack I bought was called Thousand Eyes Bible. It was before the English release was even out. And me and my best friend at the time, we would go on a website. I think there was a guy in Hawaii who used to do translation sheets for all of the cards. So we'd sit with all our printouts telling us what our cards did. So someone would put a card down and be like, what does that do? Okay. Of course, my friend would always lie about his translations. He'd be like, no, it doesn't do this. But we had a lot of fun with it. And then the game got released in Europe and it became very, very, very big, very, very quickly. Quite a few years later than that, I got involved in the judging side of things. And I got so more and more heavily involved in judging, and I slowly moved away from actually playing. Because every time I turn up to an event, they'd be like, oh, Matt, come on, help us out. We're a man down. And after judging for a long time, I started to finish out my degree. And at that time, I was looking for work. And I've been volunteering directly with Konami for a little while. And I got invited for an interview over in Germany, which was successful, as you could probably guess. And I lived in Germany for a little while. I just celebrated my 5 years with the company this year.
Long time.
Yeah.
5 years.
That's pretty much my entire professional life and my regular life. It's been a lot of fun getting into this. And I remember the first time we did Amsterdam.
Yeah.
I was super nervous because we were told when we were coming in, we're just going to have the games. We're going to have like a 10-minute delay, and you just don't need to worry. We're just doing a test for the World Championships. And then it was me and Robert, camera on us.
They
no
didn't tell
delay.
us. They didn't tell us we were going to have a camera on us.
I was not prepared.
No, not at all.
There were probably chains around your ankles back then.
We had our the director of our division, Peter Frottier, who'd come up every round going, oh, you can't talk about this, or you need to talk about this. And we were all super panicked because it was like the first time. And it's gotten much more relaxed now, and we've gotten more into the flow of working on the live stream, and it's a lot of fun.
Matt's story was really, really cool, and I feel like mine's not going to be anywhere as cool. So sorry for that. Actually, the beginning of our stories is very similar. Just a couple of friends, we found a really nerdy store in town, and that's what we were in school, and we thought, oh, let's go and see what they do. And then we went along, and they sold the Japanese Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and we did exactly the same. We used to print out the translation sheets to be able to play.
So much commitment.
And yeah, I mean, back then, you know, I was a kid. I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh for over half my life now. I worked out, and it's just been with me the whole time. I didn't really play competitively for a very, very long time. I just played, you know, even back in Heroes and the Chaos formats. And I remember when Cyber Dragon first came out, it just completely changed everything about Yu-Gi-Oh. And then Effect Veiler came out, and everything was so different again. And just, you know, big changes I've seen happen in Yu-Gi-Oh, and it's it's really, really strange. I mean, so I kind of finished university and decided I need to get back into this because I didn't have chance during university. So I finished my degree, and then I got back into kind of judging events as well. Even before university, I liked to be that guy who would show up to regionals and know all the rulings of the meta. That was just how I was, really. And then after university is when I started judging again and judged my first event in YCS Brussels. You know, it was the first time I'd gone overseas to judge. Just a couple of months before that was when I went to the European Championships in Frankfurt. And that's where I met Matt, actually, in Frankfurt. When I remember one of the first things I said to him was, "Why are we not doing a live stream?"
That was a popular question at the time.
Yeah, I was determined that we should have a Yu-Gi-Oh live stream, and look how far we've come. And then
All because of you.
All because of me. I like to think so. Probably not. And then a year later than that is when the live stream started for the European Championships, the year after Frankfurt, which was the first time we had the iPad thing that I was doing. And then a year after that, I was sat with all you guys.
Moved up the ladder.
Yeah, exactly. And then only a few months ago is when I started with Konami, working with Robert.
Oh yeah, we never actually formally said welcome to the Konami team.
Yeah, well, there we go.
Not on the stream, yeah.
Not on the stream.
No.
Never done it now, yeah. So it was, you know, it's been a really long, strange story. I've seen various people move in and out of the game, but there's always that core community that really kind of sticks in my heart of the people who, you know, I see time and time again, and I love coming to events because I love seeing all those different people.
Right. I'm not sure if I can. We all got different stories, of course. I think the one thing that stands out in my case is you guys seem to ending up accidentally in a job where you make money with Yu-Gi-Oh, basically, where it becomes your living. And the big difference, I would say, is that I moved to Berlin 10 years ago. I know that this exactly because the European Championship, the first ever European Championship, took place in 2006 in Bochum. And I moved 3 days before that tournament to Berlin. Like all the dates in my life that I remember have to do with trading card games. So I know when I met my wife just because there was a tournament like the day before and things like that. And so I moved to Berlin with the sole intention of scoring a job with the back then distributor of Yu-Gi-Oh! And that worked out, which is one of the reasons why I always keep preaching people. If you just like set your mind to something and you really want to accomplish that goal, you're eventually going to accomplish. Like the only thing that can like go wrong is you're not trying hard enough. If you're trying hard enough, it works. At least that's been true for me. Whenever I fail in my life, it was I didn't try enough. Well, anyway, so I think I started 2003. I was actually playing it first, found it very interesting. I loved the game. We played 2-on-2s. I'm still waiting for that to be like an official format, to be honest, because that was the most fun I've ever had in my life with the game. Which is not saying that the game got worse, but just 2-on-2, when you don't know half the rules, you don't know half the cards, that's the most entertaining thing you can do.
And that's Tina Gates?
Yeah, well, we did tribute summon, but we thought that you could tribute set a monster that didn't even have 5 stars and things like that. So it was a very popular move back in the days. If you wanted to get rid of a monster, you just set an anteater or something, tribute set it. And that worked quite well for us. I don't recommend the strategy for the tournament this weekend. I don't think it's still working these days. Yeah. So I worked a couple of years for the distributor, the back then distributor in Germany. I originally got into it because I translated all the rulings from English to German. Because I played and I lost a couple of matches because I didn't know the correct rules. I was in the finals of a tournament and lost because of that, because I used creature swap on a Nimble Momonga, attacked into something, and I wanted to search my deck for them. And then the judge was like, "You can't search your deck. It's a graveyard effect. It triggers on the other side of the field." And I was like, "What? That's not how we play it in our little group." And that's why I got so fed up with losing because I didn't know the rules that I just learned all the rules. Guess I'm a bit of an extremist in that way. And then I got into judging, and I ended up head judging a tournament also in Berlin, 2008, the World Championship. So as you can tell, Berlin and Yu-Gi-Oh! Both very special. Well, one is a place and the other is a thing in my life.